everybody doing? Let's analyze the situation. We're getting a little bit of a pump now for the price of Bitcoin. Can we go to higher levels? How is everybody doing? Make sure to destroy the like button, guys. If you do enjoy the content, let's put a bit of background music and let's say hello to the beautiful community. See how everybody is doing. Let's go. What's going on, legends? The price is getting a little bit of a pump. We need to analyze it very, very quickly here locally because we are hitting a little bit of resistance, but it doesn't look like it wants to stop, right? Anybody that took shorts yesterday with that 0.88 Fibonacci retracement, right, which was an aggressive, swing failure pattern, right? 0.88, devil giving the signal back in the Legends trading community on Discord. Take aggressive profits, guys. We're still uptrending. This movement to the downside, does it look impulsive? Are we still part of a larger corrective move? We are hitting just some resistance at the moment, just about to hit some resistance on the price of Bitcoin, which is the golden pocket, right, from the highs of yesterday to the lows, also with the previous day point of control. Well, potentially you would say it is the point of control of this range right over here. Let's see. yeah, just about the point of control of that range. We've got that high volume node exactly at the point of control, okay? The point of control, sorry, we do have that golden pocket. It's previous day point of control also. So could we get a little bit of a resistance as we have moved up in a very three-wave structure, right? We can see this movement to the upside. Will it be extremely bullish, right? A wave three, we heading up again to attempt to have new all-time highs, right? We're very, very close to all-time highs. Still a few $1,000s away, of course, but can we manage, right? A lot of people might think we have broken structure here. We've broken the uptrend structure. It's danger right now. Now we're getting this bounce. Is this a corrective move? Well, I want to see the golden pocket, how we react at the golden pocket and the previous day point of control. Beautiful levels of trading, okay? Of course, yesterday we did have the rejection from that 0.88 Fibonacci right over here. You can see in the yellow, that's the 0.88 from all-time high to the lows of April. Very sniper trading, guys, okay? You need to know what you're doing. If you are shorting this, no adding to position, just waiting for the 0.88 to trigger a short on the rejection. You get the movement down. It's a day trade scenario, okay? And overall, where we bounced is very interesting. 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽𝗫 yesterday in the Legends trading community was providing that possible long trading setup from that zone. I'll explain here the zone where I was looking for a long position, $100,800, exactly where we bounced. Let's just give that explanation on why we bounced. Apart that we had an order block, we had a naked point of control here also at the $101,000 range where we got that wick. Very aggressive long position, either this for the long or wait for the pullback to speculate at the golden pocket for that higher low and continuation to the upside. See if we can get to higher levels. Basically, this was a naked point of control. Nice order block right over here. You need to treat it, the naked point of control, as a swing failure pattern. It's a base, okay? You get beneath it, you're not interested. As soon as you recover above it, it's a sniper trade, okay? It's a possible sniper trade with your stop loss beneath the low. And now the price is recovering. We do have a very interesting level here. It's the previous day point of control, and it's the golden pocket. For the moment, this is looking very three-wavy, right? When we do take a look at the session volume profile, the previous day point of control, which is from this consolidation, is sitting exactly at the golden pocket, okay? Now, we need to analyze the movement to the downside, right? Because we've been talking about we need a proper strong rejection with a 5-wave structure that looks impulsive and high volume to speculate on a lower high, right? So is this the moment? Well, let's analyze that movement to the downside, because there is that potential of this being a double zigzag, okay? A double zigzag where you do have the zigzag move to the downside, a little bounce right over here, and then another zigzag down, right? A WXY double zigzag, a little bit aggressive. Is there a way in counting this as an impulsive move to the downside? There kind of is. We talked about the flat yesterday. Not the best looking one, but we mentioned the possibility of a flat. This ended up in a running flat. And of course, we got the movement down here, consolidation, and another movement down. So if we do count all of this as a running flat corrective move after the rejection, right, where you have that, right, flat scenario right over here, then the next leg down, small consolidation, next leg here to the downside. There is a way in counting this as an impulsive move, but also a double zigzag, not making it extremely clear, right? So we've got a 5-wave move to the downside, and for the moment, a very kind of corrective move, right? Best level to get that rejection is really the previous day point of control. It would be nice to tap it and attempt to break out of it. Okay, so if we can see here that possible rejection from it, only then I would, well, I'm in a short position already, also in a long position, but that is from lower eventually and from higher. But this would be the next intraday zone that I would be analyzing to, you know, watch carefully for a nice little scalp trade. This is a bonus because this is a level that we mentioned in the Legends trading community. And what is interesting about this intraday setup right over here is that we got above the daily open and the previous day value area low, right? Previous day value area low, we also have that high volume node that has been broken, getting a little bit of a resistance, right? This is why we love these levels. You get above it, you're not interested, you get below it, you can have a sniper short, you get the move, 2-3-1 risk reward, understanding the possibility of a larger zigzag, you know, just a little scalp scenario. So the next one right now here, zigzag move, we got decreasing volume, you know, we got more volume on the movement down, right? And very low volume on a 3-wave corrective structure. For the moment, it is corrective till proven otherwise. What will be the proven otherwise would be a blast off, right? If we just pump, right, and start getting above that point of control, we're not interested in this short, right? And this short would be a very, very aggressive scalp short only to the daily open. Daily open is exactly where we have that previous day value area low. And we also got the VWAP, right? VWAP is going to provide support most of the times, right? So we need to be aware of what if this is corrective, and what if this is a double 1-2, 1-2, and then bang, third wave up. We got inflation data. Some people are saying that it's going to be bullish. Some people are saying it's going to be bearish. So we want to be staying cautious with any trading positions that we do have open if they're very close to our entry point, as we do get the CPI data out in 30 minutes, Legends. Let me know if you can hear me, and I'm going to go through the comment section right now. I'm just focused on the lower time frame because this is what we love doing, Legends, right? Let's go right away through the comment section. Not sure if you guys can see me, can hear me. Is everything good? Connection is good. Let's go, Legends. I want to ask here, the community, is CPI data going to be bullish or bearish? What do you think? We're analyzing the waves. We're analyzing the local structure here. All right, that's how we do it. Price action levels, Elliott wave theory. We need to understand where we at here. On the higher time frame, we got no moving averages, no MACD, no money flow, none of that. Okay, we're looking for intraday setups, right? Levels where we could either jump into a short, and you know, this was a level that we mentioned a few days ago down here, this order block with a naked point of control. If you analyze the waves, okay, and where we bounced, and Fibonacci, this is how 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 detected also that possible long trade. If you take a look at Fibonacci from the last two higher lows, which would be this one eventually, right? You got this higher low before this movement up, and you have this higher low right over here. If you take a look at Fibonacci from the second higher low to the pivot high, the price bounced exactly at the 50% Fibonacci. 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 was also talking about the 1.618 extension. What an absolute sniper. This is actually catching the low. You got the naked point of control order block there to provide you that support as well, apart from Fibonacci. And when you take a look at Fibonacci from the pivot low before the start of the pump here from the 6th of May, well, we hit the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement. Okay, it is right over here, as you can see. 0.382 from this pivot low, 0.5 from this pivot low. There's no more pivots to take a look at Fibonacci. So these are the only two. And you got Fibonacci confluence exactly at the order block, also where you have that naked point of control. Very, very nice, a little bit aggressive, but you know, if you know how to sniper these trades, they give you the better risk to reward, right? You're basically kind of catching the low, but you need the swing failure pattern, right? You need to get below the naked point of control in this case, right? And get above it to provide you that sniper. You don't want to long as you're pumping, or get into the retracement eventually if you're speculating that this is either the end of a 5-wave structure or the end of that double zigzag, which is very much a possibility, right? It's possible, right? This is the confusing thing, right? Can it be a double zigzag? Can the price rocket here and create another high? Absolutely yes, Legends. Absolutely yes. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about the movements here when we take a look at the higher time frame, right? Would it make sense? As mentioned yesterday, we have extreme bullish case scenario, not so bullish case scenario. The not so bullish case scenario is that we are looking to finish a 5-wave structure. Could this be the end of a 5-wave structure? Or do we have 4-5 scenarios still here and the 5th wave hasn't finished? Absolutely yes. We want to be very, very cautious. This movement, if we are going to be still part of a 3rd wave, right? And that's with the conclusion that we mentioned yesterday where the 3rd wave is still not in, right? Let me just get this scenario right over here. Right, we're still developing the 3rd wave to the upside and we're going to go to higher levels. What you want to see here is really an explosive breakout, because this would be a 1 2 1 2, another 1 2 3 4 5. You're still developing the 3rd wave, so you would want to see a very, very explosive breakout. On the other side, you do have the 3rd wave finishing in this zone, the 4th wave right over here, and the 5th wave still not finished, right? In this case, you would have a multiple 1-2 setup, 3rd wave, 4th wave, 5th wave, and another 4-5, right? So you're still developing another 4-5 here. Hang on a second, what's happened? Which is going to be the tricky scenario, right? Hang on a second. I've clicked on the wrong button here, guys, and I've made a mess. Okay, so let's go in detail a little bit of, is there a possibility of creating another 4-5 here? And we can actually extend, right? This is just a 4-5 scenario, and we have another 4 and a 5 right over here that it's going to attempt to go to all-time highs, and then we do get the larger pullback, right? This would be the absolute moment of, we're going to hit all-time highs, here we go. Well, it's very important to realize the local price action. Local price action, I think, is crystal clear that we have our first wave to the upside, 1 2. There are only a couple of scenarios that could happen here. You are still developing your 3rd wave, which you're going to start seeing steam right now to the upside. And then you got your 4th wave and 5th wave. That will be the moment that possibly this has been your 4th and another 5th wave right there. You got your 4th wave here and your 5th wave right there. So you're looking at the price to create one more wave to the upside, unless it is the extreme bullish case scenario, which we just absolutely rocket. So we need to analyze here a little bit the local price action and understand, okay, see if we are going to be rocketing here. We are going to be hitting that major resistance, which is the golden pocket from the highs to the lows. Would be nice to hit the golden pocket. If it rolls from here, for me, it's a no trade, no short trade here. Looking at the momentum, we've got the previous day point of control, which is exactly at the golden pocket. That is the level that could provide a little bit of resistance. As we can see here, it's a high volume node. When we do take into consideration the consolidation of the last few days, look at that spike on the high volume node, previous day point of control as well, with a golden pocket. Will we blast through the most respected Fibonacci level, which has confluence, previous day point of control? Will we blast through it, or will we get that reaction and get a nice little pullback, potentially a little scalp of $1,000? Let's see if we react to that level. Let's go, legends, through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. What's going on? Hello, hello. 400 people watching the stream. A little bit low, a little bit low. Let's go. Let's see that like button getting destroyed, guys. Okay, let's pump up the algorithm, because I'm here for you. You are here for me. We're going to take a look at some altcoins. I sold some Bitcoin today, guys. I sold 1.2 Bitcoin. Yep. I took the decision. I have, too much Bitcoin, and I want some cash to get into some swing trades as well. I'm going to go more into swing trading, guys. A lot. I've been doing some day trading, throughout the last, few years. I've been focusing more on intraday setups, but we're going to get some swing trading right now. I don't need to put the pressure on day trading. I love day trading. It's the best way to increase capital, of course, to lose capital as well if you don't know how to manage your risk and look for the great trading setups. But I'm going to be more interested in swing trading, guys. Okay, so I'm selling a bit of Bitcoin to get into also some altcoins. I bought some Constellation DAG, guys. I mean, I did an altcoin view. This is about to pop. Regardless if it takes another dip or not, It's about to pop. I don't want to FOMO into Dogecoin. I don't want to FOMO into the large cap coins that have pumped already, 50 or 100% the last few days. I'm ready for the mid caps. I'm getting in, guys, because this is the moment, just like we mentioned here back in September, October of 2024, made some really nice profits before the price rocketed. I was selling here while most of the people, retail, were jumping in, okay? I have to say, it is time to start dabbling into some altcoins, especially the ones that haven't popped out yet, okay? We don't want to buy the pumps. We don't want to buy the pumps, and some of them haven't pumped. This is forming an epic ascending triangle. You get the deal, right? When this happens, I'm ready to take some profit at the highs. This is when retail are jumping in. November, December, look at this. Google Trends, yeah. They're the ones that are going to lose money. We are here to make money, right? Anyway, let's go right away through the comment section. So I did buy some Constellation DAG also as I was selling some Bitcoin. And yeah, just wanted to let you know. Let's go right away through the comment section. We are at the point of control here, getting a little bit of a struggle. Let's say hello to the beautiful community. I want to ask the people, hey, what do you think about the CPI data today? CPI data today, guys. Today. Bullish. This is coming out in the next 20 minutes. Bearish. Let's see the overall general votes here. CPI data. Let me know the votes. Is it going to be bullish? Is it going to be bearish? Let me know what is your take here, legends. See what's going on. Bullish, bearish. Let's go through the comment section and we'll focus here on the price of Bitcoin. It's looking very interesting. Because there is a valid 5-wave move down here. And if this were to be the case, we are looking for a larger correction, right? I want to hit some resistance levels. I want the price to hit the golden pocket for the moment. Very 3-wavy, very low volume pump, okay? Very low volume. However, we are getting the news right now. So as we coming into this resistance, this could either create that volatile move to the upside to claim the highs, a volatile move to the downside. We want to be quite defensive as we get the news, because I don't know what's going to happen, right? I know the levels, but I know the volatility that the CPI data can create, and it's expected to be the same. I mean, if it's lower than expected, I would expect the price to get a significant pump. 2.8 is the forecast, right? Previous is 2.8, so they're saying it's going to be the same. What's your speculation? Let me know. Is inflation going to be lower than expected, or is it going to be higher than expected? If it is lower than expected, I would expect a dump and pump kind of situation. Of course, in my opinion, it would be bullish, but the markets, guys. Do you know when we peaked out yesterday, when we got this movement to the upside? This was the China trade deal, legends. The bullish news of the China trade deal was a local top, right? At the 0.88 Fibonacci. Oh man, any news that seems very bullish, this is it, guys. Trade deal with China, with the tariffs. Let's go. It created kind of a pump and dump, right? Of almost $5,000. This was the good news. It's always the same nonsense. Bullish news, China deal with the tariffs, this and that, the other. We hit a crucial level of resistance, which is the 0.88. We also had a naked point of control in this region. 0.88 always been a classic level. I love the 0.88, guys. We did explain this throughout the previous live streams, right? 0.88 Fibonacci is, giving the explanation of what has happened previously with the 0.88 Fibonacci throughout these major consolidations, right? 0.88 is a beast. I like to call it the second golden pocket, because it's just a level where the price gets rejected or gets a reaction, many times, right? You got the 0.88 fib from this movement down. You got the 0.88 from this movement down, also providing that resistance. It's like, come on, 0.88, give me a deal and take out the highs. And 0.88 says, No, we are not taking out the highs just yet, and we're going to get the pullback. So this is literally what's happened here throughout this range. Not a major pullback. It is a 4,000 or 5,000 pullback, but it's great for a day trade. I got into that day trade. So I actually added a bit to the position, but had to take profit because, you know, the price can be looking corrective. We got a nice little bounce. There is that potential of creating a 4-5, another 4-5 in this region, or blast off, or a kind of a double top scenario. We'll be analyzing the different movements that could happen just to be ready. It could also be a correction, right? And too many scenarios. Well, let's just go with the easy stuff. This is resistance. Let's keep it that way. People are a little bit tired with this Elliott wave nonsense. It's getting too complex. This is the previous day point of control. We do have the golden pocket. This, you know, we know that golden pocket is the most respected level. And if you have a naked point of control, which is yesterday's point of control, it can reject. I wouldn't say it's going to do this. It could do that. But I'm going to say it can definitely come down to the resistance support flip daily open. It's a nice little scalp. You're gonna have to, you know, this can get choppy, right? It can blast off, it can reject and just dump. It can get a bit choppy. We're gonna have to analyze the situation, right? Manage risk as always, but there is a realistic move here. We haven't hit the level. If it's front running the level, I'm not interested. I need the price to come to me. 0.88 Fibonacci. I need the price to come to the 0.88 Fibonacci and reject from it if we want to get into a trade, right? So if it front runs the level, okay, goodbye, see you later. Not interested, right? We need to stay grounded here with the setups. Let's go right away from the temporarily bullish. Let's take a look at the votes here from the legends. We're almost 500 people watching the stream. That like button is getting exploded. My goodness, almost 200 likes. No, it's not. It's only 110 likes. Let's go, legends. If we can get that like button to at least 200, it would be absolutely awesome. I'm going to go quickly through the comment section. Then we can take a look at some altcoins. Hey, Constellation DAG, I'm putting a nice bet on this one. I'm putting a nice bet on this one. I am aware of the triangle breakdown, but I would just stay calm, okay? This is likely going to reverse at some point, regardless if we get a breakdown here, just some short-term pain. What we do not want to do is get into the pump. We do not want to, we want to consider taking out some profits. We're staying realistic here. A lot of people know crypto of 20x, 30x. We could be coming into this massive altcoin season. I want to have a good position. I want to get ready. In the next coming months, we're not going to be talking about altcoins. We'll be getting out, right? So I think it's a crucial moment. People are not paying attention. People will join when euphoria is at peak levels, right? I want to make money on this. I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to be bullish for many, many months. I'm here to analyze the charts and realize where the opportunities lie, okay? No BS. Let's go. I love DAG. Constellation DAG is awesome. Made in USA. Ministry of Defense using the technology, regardless if it's going to be bullish for the token or not. Well, you know, there's a big discussion on that. But people are here for speculation, right? All of the tokens are rubbish, guys, right? Real world asset tokens, yeah, you know, maybe in the next coming years we are going to, you know, start adopting all of these different, you know, AI, cryptos, real world asset, deep in. For the moment, it's a huge, massive speculation bubble, just like the dot-com bubble from the 2000s. Everybody was having businesses online that didn't have a real product, right? It was just a big hype, and we're still in that kind of hype in the crypto space, right? So I just want to make money. I'm not here for the tech. I'm here for the tech for Chainlink. I'm lying. I'm here for the tech on Chainlink. But on these tokens, yeah, I'm here to make money. I'm not here to fuck around, right? And be, you know, this is the most bullish project. It's going to do a 20, 30x. I don't know if it's going to do that. I'm here. I know where to buy on the charts. I'm not sure what it's going to do in the future, but I know where I need to buy. That is for sure. Let's go right away through the comment section. I will not be buying into any pumps. If you want to be like conservative, you know, get into the famous altcoins, right? On the dump, Dogecoin, Pepe, they're always good bets. The strongest meme coins always recover at the end of the day. Can you take a look at ADA? Let's take a look at the votes here, first of all, and then we go through the comment section. CPI data today is going to be bullish, 59%. We got that in 12 minutes, guys. 13 minutes from now, bullish CPI. Let's go. Legends, bearish 41%. Let's go, let's go. Bitcoin is playing games here. Playing games. Let's see if we do get a little bit of choppiness here. I'm going to have to protect some positions in the next coming minutes before CPI. I don't care about the volatility. You know, if you have some positions anywhere in this region or here in longs or here in shorts, you know, you want to be defensive. It could be a volatility fest. It could be a big fat nothing burger. I don't know. And as I don't know, I don't want to be exposed, right? This little zigzag, this little corrective structure, it looks very corrective for the moment. I have to say, you got high volume on the movement down, and you got very low volume here, decreasing. But I'm not going to play the news, guys, in this region, okay? Unless you want to be an absolute sniper on the news, right? I'm getting into the short. I'm getting into the long. I don't want to trade like that because for me it's a kind of gambling. I just want to stay away from that volatility. When the price calms down and hits, you know, major levels of confluence, then I would be interested in getting into a trading setup, right? Or, you know, I need technical analysis to trade, not news. But anyway, you can do whatever you want. Right, let's go through the comment section. Faris, my man, much love to you. Number 68, like 68. Much love to you, brother. Two big paws, tickle the like button. Thank you very much, my man. Much love to you. Good idea. And ETH smart contracts, as 𝗬𝗫. Day trading is just fun. I mean, day trading is very fun. It can be very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing and you don't manage risk. So, you know, it can be the fastest way in losing money, but it can be the fastest way in making money. You know, but I'm going to be more swing trading. Of course, I did not swing trade from the lows. Okay, got into about 20 trades throughout the uptrend, all different long positions, in a long position right now also, and just getting into these day trading scenarios is going to protect this position actually now when the news is going to kick in. Not worth having this position when the news is happening. But overall, day trading can be very, very good if you know, right? It can be the fastest way in losing money. I've lost a lot of money in the past doing day trades, just jumping into trades and, you know, not having a proper plan and not managing risk. But if you know how to do it, you're very concentrated, right? And you know exactly your trading plans, your levels, right? You can make a lot of money of obviously day trading. And I missed out, you know, on swing trading all of this position. I'm just focusing level to level, and I'm interested in small little movements of $1,000 to $2,000 mainly on average, and, you know, got into a bunch of long positions in this range. And some people may think, why didn't you just hold a long position? Well, I'll tell you why. Well, I will have swing trades and I will have day trading setups, right? This is why I've also got different accounts where I'll be focusing more on swing trades, where it's nice to have those positions of $10, $20, $30,000, right, in profit. But overall, day trading for me is very lucrative, and I really enjoy doing it. And you might think, why did you get into long positions here? Anybody that's a long, you know, term follower was here throughout the streams, you know, just taking profit at the highs, level to level setups throughout this range. And you might think, why didn't you just hold a position from here? Because I don't know if the breakout is going to be successful, right? I have targets, day trading strategies, and then the swing trading strategies. Well, this zone, without a doubt, is for an pretty interesting swing short position. This is why it's shorting the 0.88 is very, very good. You know, depending on how the price moves up here, if it were to break out from this level, we need to analyze how the price is moving up. Okay, very important to understand the waves to the upside to really see that exhaustion. Are we finishing a possible fifth wave? This is why this is actually a pretty good damn level to swing trade a short position. This is a zone to look for swing shorts, just because when we analyze where we at right now, it's a higher time frame big level of resistance. There's hype building up. We moved up, right? We got the 0.88 Fibonacci. We got the value area high. We analyzed the Elliott wave theory move to the upside. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to start thinking, maybe this is going to top out in this region, or you want some very good levels to short. This area could get a pullback down to the lows here of the fourth wave, which is very, very common. It can get supported, of course, from that point of control on the higher time frame, right, where you could get a nice little bounce. That's at $97,000. But considering Elliott wave theory and the massive move that we've had in the last few weeks, to just miss out all-time high, and I recognize that sometimes this could happen. I do not know if the extreme bullish case scenario is going to happen, where we're just going to blast off. Maybe it does. Of course, I'm very defensive with my trades. You know, I'm in and I'm out, and I'm, you know, already taking profits, and, you know, I'm a very defensive trader, right? I'm protective, you know, short here, the rejection, add to the position, take profit. I'm defensive. Can we get that extra leg to the downside? Absolutely. I want to hold some of that position just in case it happens, because I do realize when we do hit this kind of level, when we analyze, it's, you know, technical analysis is purely based on history, right? It's purely based on levels, on history, high volume nodes, you name it. You can use whatever. But, you know, history is what you learn of the different, how the price moves, how an asset moves. And the 0.88 Fibonacci and the value area high here, right? This was all-time high back in 2024 at $73,000. When you do these kind of corrections, will we get above all-time high, or will we reject from the value area high and the 0.88? In this case, we did reject twice. It formed a double top. So just because of that theory, and this is the best explanation, I'm interested in getting into swing shorts if I can get in safely and I can manage risk, right? Value area high and 0.88. Hey, if this happened here and I can short exactly at the levels, right, that I'm interested in, if it happened here, it doesn't mean it needs to happen, but it has happened in this range, value area high and 0.88 rejection. Why can't it happen here? It can. It's already rejecting $5,000 from yesterday's highs exactly at the 0.88. I want to take the chance. Can you take that chance safely with good risk management? I mean, this is the thing. You know, people will just jump into short trades as we got the drop yesterday, and they shorted late, right? This level is interesting. I have to say, it is interesting. It is an interesting level. The movement up is very three-wavy, low volume. We've got extreme low volume. It does look corrective for the moment, but I need the price to hit some very crucial levels of resistance. And, you know, you could argue, discuss that, yes, it is the point of control of the range. There's a better high volume node here, and there's a better fib level, which is the golden pocket. We're going to have to take a look at the CVD divergence here, by the way. And yeah, apparently we do not have a bearish CVD divergence. No bearish CVD divergence at all. People were very interested in shorting the dump yesterday, and there was a lot of shorts entering in this move. Unless you're scalping this short, this for me was not really a zone to get into shorts, right? You either short from higher, or you wait for a strong move and the pullback, you analyze it very carefully to then look for the next leg down. If it is going to be a zigzag three-wave structure or a five-wave structure. This is why this zone is becoming, you know, a very decisive moment when we analyze the chart. We're not getting bearish CVD divergence. We're not getting any retail longs here. So best scenario would be getting higher highs on the CVD and lower highs on the price action. Unfortunately, that's not the case here for the bulls, right? The ones that have been long from lower. So that's a little bit of a situation that we don't get any bearish CVD divergence. Want to see, from short positions, not from longs. You actually formed some pretty interesting local bullish CVD divergence right over here. Lower lows on CVD, higher lows on the price action, taking out the local highs, right? Which is the target here for those scalpers. Yeah, you did have some bullish CVD divergence throughout this higher low momentum from today, right? Early this morning. No bearish CVD divergence. That's not a good sign. No longs entering. You're going to be forming some more local bullish CVDs. So, yeah, the bearish case scenario is not looking extremely great, even though the price action looks okay, right? Looks okay for a 3-wave corrective move, 5-wave impulse. This can be counted as a double zigzag, as mentioned, right? Where you got a zigzag, you got the correction, and you got another zigzag here. WXY double zigzag, little aggressive, but it's a valid count. So yeah, this area is going to be looking interesting. Unfortunately, we don't have any bearish CVDs. We got the news in 2 minutes, legends. 2 minutes. I think I'm going to take some profits because I'm going to get wicked out. I'm in a short and in a long. Haven't taken enough profits. I think it makes sense to take some more profits and leave some open eventually. This is a zone where if you're in longs or you're in shorts, with the CPI data, you can get stopped out from both positions, right? You just don't know how it's going to play out. You just don't know how the news. So it's a defensive moment for any local trading setups, anybody that wants to bet the farm with the news, right? It's going to go up, it's going to go down. I'm longing, I'm shorting. Stay cautious. We got that news in 1 minute. It might not be very much of a deal. Might be a big fat nothing burger. I would expect a wick up or down. Let's take a look at the stock market S&P 500. See what that is doing. It's been grinding to the upside pretty nicely here. Getting above this high. This is bullish. Stock market is bullish. You got a 3-wave structure already overlapping. Regardless if it's going to form a larger correction, double, zigzag or whatever, or it's going to form a double zigzag right now doesn't look that interesting. A WXY sideways momentum. This is corrective. We're overlapping this pivot. That means that the all-time highs for stock market is very likely in the coming months. So we got that news. Stay safe here with the local volatility. Be defensive with any internal trading setups that you do have. There we got it, guys. Getting a bit of the volatility right now as we speak. Kicking in here. What's the CPI data? It is the same. Inflation rate 2.5. Core inflation is the same. Inflation is 2.3, lower than expected. Getting a little bit of a bullish reaction based on lower inflation than expected. Can this be bullish? We are hitting that previous day point of control right now. Could be a little bit of a trap situation. We know that bullish news, if you start off with a pump, it could get an instant little dumpy action. Coming into that golden pocket right now. You know the deal. Bullish news, golden pocket hit. Golden pocket hitting the reaction. I mean, it's, if you want it, that was your kind of take right there. That was the short. And when you get bullish news and you get a pump, you're likely going to get a pump and dump. So it is what usually happens. Then it might eventually, continue to the upside, as it is generally bullish news. That we do have lower inflation. Let's take a look at the stock market, see what it's doing. It's getting a little bit of pumpy action. Stock market wicking up here from yesterday's highs, but getting that kind of double top. Let's see how the outcome is. Just hit that golden pocket. Could come down to the VWAP, to the daily open, to the rally area low. you kind of SFP'd the golden pocket, right? Was an option for those aggressive scalpers. Would take that as a free trade. Very, very quick action. I'm already in short from higher and long from lower. Let's go. Pump and dump. Yeah, pump and dump. This is the danger of the news, right? It will pump, it will dump, it will continue pumping. You just don't know how the price is going to react based on the news. But golden pocket with that previous day point of control is what is getting the reaction on the news. Regardless of news or not, it's a level. We're trying to break through it at the moment. Revisiting that high. Stock market not swing failure patterning successfully here, not double topping successfully for the moment. So this bullish news might be enough to squeeze out. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. See what NASDAQ must be doing something very similar. Yeah, testing yesterday's highs, actually breaking out. It is above the highs. No big major rejection as of yet. That golden pocket is being the barrier. So any aggressive traders, bullish news into the golden pocket, end previous day, highest volume node, place your bets to be defensive. This obviously the target zone would be the previous day value area low, the daily open, which is today's open, which is also at the previous day value area low, and you also got that VWAP, right? We've separated today from the VWAP. VWAP would be the possible bouncing zone. Bit of a little scalp scenario. You can be very defensive with this trade, right? You don't have to have a stop loss up here or add to the position. Teeny weeny stop loss from that rejection of the golden pocket. It could reject down to the VWAP. We need to give the bears a little chance here. We need to give the bears a little chance. We moved up in a three-wave structure with very low volume. This volume doesn't count. It's news related. We don't count the news volume. This could have, there's higher volume on the movement down. There is a three-wave structure coming into resistance. You get the deal, right? Place your bets, as they say. Let's go through the comment section. 800 people watching the stream right now. If you're new subscriber, make sure to smash up the like button if you do enjoy the content. Dumping, it is dumping at the golden pocket, legends. It was bullish. Yeah, the news is bullish, low inflation. So you want to be cautious, don't want to trust a little bit of the rejections because it is bullish news. It is bullish news. I wouldn't be too excited of the bearish case scenario because it is bullish. Stock market is pumping. NASDAQ is pumping. S&P is pumping, right? Stock market in general is pumping. We are above yesterday's highs. So you can say that for the moment, if you start closing a 15-minute candlestick, it would be a bullish breakout. Still there. That was the volatility. Could it manage to pop out? Can it manage to pop out here? It is holding. That golden pocket is holding. Alt's moving. Altcoins are moving. Let me know what altcoins are moving. Constellation DAG, baby. I don't care about, the best AI crypto coins. I'm interested in buying the ones that are about to pop, baby. I bought a bunch of Constellation DAG today after selling some Bitcoin because this one can do a 2x in a matter of a few days, right? You can get that breakout in the next coming days. Did talk about a few altcoins. This is just about to pop. Just about to pop from this ascending triangle. This one can, you can trade this. I just decided to buy some of this cryptocurrency. Hold a bag. Because, just be ready. I want to have a bag of different altcoins before things could go crazy in the next coming months, right? And now is the right moment to buy low from those good projects that haven't popped out yet, right? When it pops out, we're not interested. We're not interested. A golden pocket holding like a beast. Let's go through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. Right now, Bitcoin needs to break out from this resistance or reject. Pi Network, why afraid of it? Why are you afraid of it? Pi Network, I'm not afraid of Pi Network. Oh, you're asking from somebody in the comment section. But Pi Network, apparently it's a kind of a pyramid scheme crypto, but it has been doing absolutely epic, right? It was got a 26% rejection in the last 24 hours, but this one exploded throughout the last week, right? This one got a major move of over 100% in the last, 4 or 5 days, give or take. Now it's getting that pullback. I don't know about this one, but this one did over a 2x in a matter of 5-6 days. I don't want to rush into these ones, right? Because if not, you are going to be the pullback. If you jump in late, you will be part of the pullback. I'm not interested in this. I'm interested in the ones that are about to pop, right? And Constellation DAG for me is the safest, safest bet. Just looking at the structure, no major big moves up. Okay, I don't mind being part of the correction later on, but I already want to be positioned. Let's go right away through the comment section and say hello and take a look at some altcoins. Right, not much more here to discuss on Bitcoin. Bulls need to prove themselves here. We are hitting that resistance. I'm short, I'm long, I'm schlong, as they say. Sold some of my Bitcoin holdings. I have to say, I was saying this throughout the stream. 1.2 Bitcoin. It's a very small percentage from what I hold. I want to have some more cash. I'm going to get more into swing trading as well. And I'm actually testing BTCC exchange, guys. BTCC is a pretty cool exchange. This has a very huge track record. This has been in the game for 14 years, plus 14 years, secure platform. So if you're looking at something that has history, then this one has history. You do have a great deal on BTCC. All right, I'll be using several exchanges, some of them for day trading, some of them for swing trading. More interested for swing trading on BTCC. I'm just, looking to test it out. And you got some great bonuses, guys, to $10,000 plus bonuses if you sign up with the second link down below. I think it's the second link. No, it's the third link down below, guys. BTCC. I'm going to start getting into more swing trades, right? Because I've been focusing a lot on day trading and a lot of people don't appreciate that. And we'll talk about swing trading setups. The 0.88 Fibonacci from the movement that we had yesterday is a swing trade short level, because you realize that it can reject, right? It all depends on your trading style. In this channel, we will be talking about swing trading levels, and also we'll continue with day trading scenarios, okay? But overall, I will be focusing on BTCC to get into swing trades. There's not much of a swing long position to be made here. I'm going to take profit at the highs because unless we blast off from the highs, if we reject from the highs, I'm taking profits. If we do blast off from the highs, then yeah, apparently this could, this would be a swing long, right? So we're just gonna have to move on with what the chart tells me, right? Or depending on the breakouts, you either hold the position or not. If we blasted off from yesterday's highs, we're breaking out here. We're trying to break out from that point of control, or yeah, we're still at the golden pocket. This was it. This was the volatility. Getting a bit of a rejection on the stocks. Interesting level. This is the zone where if the price pops out from here, then eventually I would be expecting the 7/8 Fibonacci, which is these lower highs. Next fib level, if you break out successfully from previous day point of control and the golden pocket, which is a level that's finding a little bit of a reaction. I don't want to be part of a short if it does break out. Next level would be sweeping up these lower highs and the 7/8 Fibonacci. That's your next fib level for the price to get a reaction, regardless if it does reject or not, or just consolidates and then continues up. For the moment, golden pocket is being that wall with the previous day point of control. So for the moment, it is still resistance. It is still resistance. Andy, best exchange for the UK, low fees. I mean, I cannot say for what country, but I do know that BTCC and Weeks also does have very low fees. And with Weeks, you just need an email and a password. Also with BTCC, no VPN, no nothing, and you can trade almost everywhere. In my understanding. So yeah, you do have some great you have 25% fee reduction on Weeks with my link down below. Of course, you do get the biggest bonus available, and you do have 25% fee reduction as well. You got up to $30,000 of bonuses on Weeks, $2,000 if you trade 5 million volume. You know, you got different perks, but what is low fees? You get 25% fee reduction on all your trades when you sign up with the second link down below on Weeks. And you just need an email and password. I do know that you can trade almost anywhere. No VPN, no nothing, email and password. And you do get the fee discount also with the link down below. BTC is also great. What I do like about BTC is the track record that it has. It has 14 years of track record. Holy moly, right? If you want an OG, platform, massive security, then BTCC is without a doubt an option. Where you got also the best bonuses available down below. Rejecting from that golden pocket, it is finding resistance. I'm already positioned, but this would have been an acceptable position. And the target zone, would be that. I wouldn't go too crazy with stop here. Golden pocket is kind of SFP and getting the reaction. Your first TP zone would be that VWAP. VWAP, daily open, today's open, VWAP, and the previous day value area low. There's big support here. It's only a little movement of $1,000 approximately. I mean, you can still make some gains, of course. We don't need big movements of $10,000. There's enough of a movement. It is resistance. So you just need a hope on the resistance, right? You're putting hope on the technical analysis. It's hope on technical analysis. It's not just random hope. It is resistance. I like the way on how it's moved up here with the low volume. We got some volume with the good news, which is low inflation. It's just, that's the thing, right? Stock market, we need to know that, we're getting a little bit of a double top situation, but as it's very fresh news, guys, and it is bullish news, it's kind of not worth going against the bullish news, right? Especially when you're breaking here the highs on the stock market. We know that Bitcoin is highly correlated with the stock market, right? So if it's a bullish stock market, it's very likely going to have a bullish outcome for Bitcoin, but could end up in that double top. It is struggling here. It is struggling, the stock market, with the highs from yesterday, as Bitcoin is hitting the golden pocket and the previous day point of control. So if it does reject, if it does end up in that double top scenario here on the stock market, well, eventually it will help Bitcoin to get that confirmation, that rejection. And what you're looking at here is a possible confirmed zigzag. There's higher volume on the movement down. There is a very zigzag structure with low volume. The bullish news, which is lower inflation than expected, can always play the side of the trap, right? It could always be the trap side. Of course, you could get that dump and then the pump later on. But you know where we topped out yesterday, right? At the 0.88 Fibonacci, brutal level. And this pump that we had yesterday was on the news of the China and US deal. It was bullish. We got the deal, guys. It's bullish. It's gone down from 130% something on the tariffs, right? Which was absolutely ridiculous. It was the goddamn top. The news was the top, local top, okay? Some people might think it's when I say the top, it's bear market. No, it was a local top, okay? We look at the local price action, okay? It doesn't mean it's bear market. It's the highs, and it's bear market from here. It was a local top. How the news affects, right? It's bullish news. They come into this deal. It was the goddamn top, just like when Donald Trump, right, entered the White House. It was the all-time high. Goddamn first crypto pro Bitcoin president. It was the goddamn top. And we went into a multi-monthly downtrend. Yeah, we cannot rely on the news, guys. It's very, very clear that we cannot rely on bullish news, right? Sell the news, as they say, right? Buy the rumor and sell the news. Or trade the news, right? Short the news. And this pump that we had yesterday was exactly the greatest deal on the tariffs, China and US. It dumped down $5,000 from that high. Yeah, we cannot, it's just, we know the deal, right? The news can be bullish and it dumps on you, which is pretty cool to see, right? I mean, this was a technical level regardless, right? It was a technical level that we've been talking about the last few days. Value area high and the 0.88 Fibonacci, which is the second golden pocket. I like to call it the second golden pocket. It's such an epic level, the 0.88. And that we just hit that level on the deal with China. Bang, bang, just tapped it and reject from it. You need to be ready. Basically. Devil on the Legends trading community did give the call, right? Just for anybody that forgot about that 0.88 Fibonacci. Devil did the call on the 0.88 Fib yesterday, approaching the 0.88 Fibonacci. Be ready for that possible outcome, right, of a rejection. Anyway, let's go right away. Anybody that's interested in joining the Legends trading community, we've got obviously many coaches providing altcoin setups, Bitcoin setups. Myself and Devil mainly focus on Bitcoin. I do mainly the updates and analysis to see what could happen, just like I do on YouTube, but a little bit more specific and more locally. We did talk about this level of resistance, which is just on the news. The bears, the bears have a chance here. They do have a local chance just to get a little pullback. Doesn't mean that we need to break down. It could break down, but it has a chance. It is resistance. It's with the news. It is chopping. Stock market, what's it doing? It's breaking through. It's not rejecting from here. So it hasn't been a major sell-off, not a major liquidity grab. When you do reject very fast, you do realize it's just a stop hunt. But when you reject very slowly and you still dance around here, there's more liquidity to the upside, right? It needs a fast rejection. If we don't reject fast, usually these are pump and dumps, right? When you do grab liquidity from a major high, you want the price to dump fast, right? Look at this pump, sweep up the highs. It dumped very fast. Same pump here yesterday. It did consolidate for a few minutes, nothing too major, but the dump happened relatively fast. So that's what you want to see really when you're claiming the liquidity, right? When you're speculating in a double top, you want the highs to be taken and the price to start rejecting. Okay, tight stop loss, start being defensive as you get the price moving down. But if you do reject from the highs at a resistance and you start dancing around here with very shallow pullbacks, it's not enough. You need to realize that the price, there's no selling pressure coming in, and it could form a little bull flag, right, or whatever, and just continue to the upside. So when you double top, you want to see the price leave leave in the next few minutes. If you start dancing around, then the probabilities decrease for the rejection because you're not getting enough selling pressure, right? You want fast selling pressure when you double top. Liquidity grab, shorts entering aggressively, and that is not the case at the moment, right? Dancing around here. Anyway, let's go through the comment section, see what's happening. Thanks, Andy. 𝗬𝗫. Yeah, 𝗬𝗫 is a great option. BTCC is also a great option. I mean, you got a fee discount also with a link down below. So I would say that 𝗬𝗫 is a great option for you if you're looking for low fees. BTCC fees are not that high also. Ethereum absolutely going parabolic. You must be joking. You must be joking. I am in long based on spot position and spot trades. Ethereum going absolutely parabolic. Well, on the local time frame, nothing too major on Ethereum. Oh, it is looking more corrective, I have to say. I mean, it's almost the same scenario as Bitcoin. You do have the movement down, rejection, double top on Ethereum, consolidation, running flat right over here. You get the pump, the dump, claim the lows, not managed to claim those highs. So it's a running flat for your possible wave 2. It's also a double zigzag scenario. Okay, same as Bitcoin. Then you got your wave 3, shallow correction for your wave 4, wave 5, and a zigzag 3-wave structure. It kind of has lost a little bit of the momentum with this wave, right? It kind of has lost a little bit of momentum, but there is the potential of another 4-5. So, I mean, if the price needs to reject on Ethereum, and I would bet the farm that it is also hitting the point of control of this range, well, it's actually got above. I would have lost. Yeah, I'm not much of an Ethereum trader myself. I'm not much of an altcoin trader. I'd rather buy altcoins at low levels before the major altcoin season. But yeah, that's the case right now. Very similar price action. It's a decisive moment here to see if this ends up being a double zigzag, which is definitely a possibility. A double zigzag is possible here. Okay, because you do have a 3-wave corrective move, right? You do have a 3-wave corrective move. You do have this other choppiness right there, which is a part of the correction. And then you have another zigzag from this high, right? In a nutshell, this could be a double zigzag WXY. That's, you know, this is the major problem at the moment right over here. So it's not being too clear. It's not being too clear. And you might think, well, if it's not clear, then, you know, what's going on? Well, you just, you know, when you take Elliott wave into consideration, you just need to go with it's hitting resistance, right? Keeping it simple. If this is a valid count for an impulse, and this is a valid count for a correction, and you are hitting a major level of resistance, you know, you have the chance. It's all about managing risk and taking the decision, not going too crazy. If you break above this level, I no longer would want to be in shorts. The problem is of a lot of people that they still in the short. They still in the short. And they short and they still in the short and they don't have stop loss. And they hope for a reversal. And then the massive bullish case scenario is playing out, and then they're burnt. If you break above this level, you do not want to be in the short, period, right? You don't want to be in the short. It is really that simple. Don't be in the short if you break the resistance. If you tap the resistance and you reject from it, you can open a trade safely. I mean, this is coming to the deal with the 0.88 Fibonacci that we did talk about on the channel. It was a little bit more focused on the Legends trading community. 𝗬𝗫𝘆𝗽 here taking action on that scenario. 0.88 Fibonacci. We're always aware of the 0.88 Fibonacci, which is a very, very good level. And the way to trade it is to, you know, treat it as a swing failure pattern level, right? A failed breakout to the upside. And that's literally what happened yesterday. I thought I had the fib level crossed here from all-time high to the pivot low of April. The only way you can trade this is if you reject from the 0.88. So if you get above it, you're not interested in the trade. If you get below it, you can enter the short and stop losses at the high. If the price manages to get above it again, you do not want to be in the short. You want to take a look at other resistance levels that you have, right? To see where the price could reject. So you're not interested in the short. And if this were to break the previous day point of control, you know, I would not be interested in the short. I would say that we're going to the 7/8 Fibonacci, which is yesterday's lower highs, where you could get a reaction right there. Sweep up that liquidity above the lower highs of yesterday, right? Of this range, which is with a 7/8 fib. You know, I don't want to be part of a short in this area. I'd rather, you know, be out of the trade and see how the price reacts here if it's going to form a swing failure pattern. I would still consider the possibility of this being an ABC and then the price hitting that level and rejecting very aggressively. So that's your next level for the bet, right? If this does not reject and this one does not reject, sorry, if this one doesn't reject, you're looking for this one to reject. Because this is the kind of moment where you can count this as a 5-wave structure. You can count this as a 3-wave structure, and you're getting low volume. There's low volume. You got the news volume. We don't count that. And now is the moment of pressure of saying, yeah, but the inflation was low. It is actually bullish news. So we should be seeing the markets pumping. It did get a short-term pump. Yeah, no, a little bit of a rejection here, but it's, you know, stocks are still maintaining, some of them above that high. So it's not rejecting successfully. There's not enough selling pressure. Not enough selling pressure here, unfortunately, as of yet. When you double top, you want to see a wick and then, you know, get down. We should have been trading down here already if we would have seen a double top. When you dance around here and you maintain above the highs of yesterday, it's like, okay, not enough selling pressure. This actually might, you know, continue the momentum to the upside. You know, I don't want to be part of this. Because if it would have double topped, it should have rejected aggressively already, right? We should have seen a nice little dip already, and that's not happening. So we are seeing the lack of shorting positions entering the market here, which is eventually not helping Bitcoin getting the rejection right now. It's dancing around, but doesn't look too promising if you ask me. Would be nice to see the price already start moving down. Anyway, let's go through comment section right away. Kezi, no, it's not. ADH. Shall we take a look at some altcoins? Andy, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Spaceman BTC key level. It's under the indicator, but it's not an indicator. It auto makes out great levels. Please look. Spaceman BTC key level. I'm Chilawata. I'm not sure. Is this an indicator? Spaceman BTC. Is this an indicator? Spaceman BTC. Key levels, Spaceman BTC. Is it this? I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Monday highs, previous week high. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see this. Monday mid. I guess this would be the equilibrium of Monday. Monday mid price range, right? Monday low, Monday mid. So it's previous day equilibrium. That's pretty cool. This is pretty cool just to get your previous week, previous day levels, highs and lows. That's pretty cool. Weekly open. Yeah, this is also interesting. I have this on a folder myself. When we take a look at previous week and previous day, month levels, I have it on a folder. Previous week high and previous week open. Previous week close, actually. Weekly open, of course, yeah. That's pretty cool. It just marks the previous day, equilibrium and high and low. I have them on a folder. But yeah, we got previous week closed, which is the weekly open, also just on the top of the golden pocket, which would be the 6.5 Fibonacci. So yeah, previous week close, you know, it can be a, you know, an issue here. It is resistance, right? It is resistance. Now the bet is, will this resistance get rejected? That is the thing, right? Front running still a little bit the previous day point of control, so you could get that attempt in breaking out and then rejecting. Of course, if you break out and you maintain above, I wouldn't be interested in any shorts. Just let the price go. Let it go if it breaks the resistance. Momentum is bullish today. There is a valid count. This should have rejected already from this resistance. If it were to be the case, stock market is dancing around from previous day highs. Let's see. Anyway, let's go through the comment section. Let's take a look at some altcoins. Altcoin season, baby. Is it happening? I had to sell some Bitcoin today. I had to buy some altcoins, mainly Constellation DAG. I actually created a little wick on the DAG BTC charts because I bought DAG with BTC. And I actually created a little wick today. It wasn't this one. Oh no, yeah, actually it was this one. So you know, this is down. Yeah, this was it. I created a little wick here. When you take a look at the BTC, you know, DAG BTC chart, it looks horrible, right? It looks dead compared to Bitcoin. But I really like the round formation. It should outperform Bitcoin at some point, right? In an altcoin season, you know, regardless. This was November, and this was for quick profit. It's still downtrending against Bitcoin eventually. Everything downtrends against Bitcoin in the future. It's always like that, right? Short term, you are going to see some of the altcoins outperforming Bitcoin, but it's just to make some quick profits more than Bitcoin, right? So I really like this. It is kind of really rounding off. It looks dead, right? It is the moment, right? It is the moment to be proven if we are going to get that altcoin season. And if you like the levels, then, you know, but everything ends up, you know, despite of an altcoin season and the best crypto ever, if you take a look at the altcoins, you know, there might be 𝗕𝗶𝗴 and maybe some other ones, but long term, most of them, they all go down against Bitcoin, right? You're going to get the altcoin seasons and whatever, but they're all going to end up going down against Bitcoin. All of them, right? So you don't want to hold on too many altcoins for a very long time. I mean, unless it's Ethereum, depending on your strategy, of course, right? I would be happy to hold Ethereum at least to $10,000, right? That's at least to all-time high. Let's stay conservative. Anyway, let's go through comment section. We can take a look at XRP is pumping. XRP has been an absolute beast. Shall we take a look at XRP? I did a video on XRP, and just because most of my followers are here for Bitcoin and we focus on Bitcoin, the moment I start talking about altcoins, I think my followers are like, yeah, come on, you know, now you're going to talk about altcoins. We've been getting into very successful altcoin trades. If I talk about altcoins, it's because it's serious, right? I never talk about altcoins or trading or analysis. But when I do, it's because I'm buying. When I do, it's because I'm interested in making the flips. ICP is another one. I see ICP going above $20 at least. Hopefully it will get an explosive breakout, but I've explained, I mean, come on, there's still time, regardless if we get a pullback or not. It doesn't matter. This is already a good sign that it's getting exhausted. The selling pressure is getting exhausted. This movement is extremely corrective. This pump is very impulsive, and the highs of the pump have not been claimed. You got a perfect 5-wave structure with high volume, and it's 2 scenarios here. You either zigzag and then down, or you break out in a 3rd wave in altcoin season. I don't know. I am targeting the highs of $20. It's not much of a return. It's a 4x, but hey, if you put $1,000, you make a 4x. You know, it's $4,000. If you put 100K, then it's 400K. It all depends on your risk appetite. But these ones haven't even moved yet. And ICP is an awesome. It is an AI project. Maybe you're more interested in Pepe or Dogecoin or some other AI cryptos that have only launched this year or last year, right? A little bit more of the fresh. I'm more of an OG guy, that I like to see projects that have been in the previous cycle or launched throughout the last couple of years, and they are developing still. And ICP is big, without a doubt. And Constellation DAG also, made in US. Let's take a look at XRP. And XRP, yeah, you know, getting a nice little breakout. This could have been the low for XRP. This could have been the low on this correction. I did an XRP video just last week, and it didn't get any love at all, just explaining how XRP has the chance of going to plus $5, maybe even $10, $15 in the cycle. I would be saying all-time high, conservative, above $5, and I would start getting out if I had XRP. I don't. Just staying realistic, but it does look pretty damn bullish. This could have been the low. There is a way in counting this scenario as a double zigzag. It is very, very, yeah, double zigzag kind of structure, where you have an aggressive zigzag move here. You have a flat in your X. You got a pump, a dump, and a pump to claim the highs. Or, I mean, a zigzag. Yeah, it's another zigzag here on your wave X. And then you have another zigzag. Regardless, it's all very, very corrective. All very, very corrective. This is why we're getting this nice momentum to the upside. And here you have a possible contracting move with a flat, or you have a multiple 1-2 setup here, which is also the option. Makes sense that this is the impulse, this is the flat, and now you're building up the possible 3rd wave or your second 1-2. I mean, this is the discussion right now on XRP. Are you forming the double 1-2? You're going to get a bit of a pullback, then the 3rd wave in the next coming weeks. Or are you developing the 3rd wave already, right? And it's already, you know, heading up to the highs of January. Oh my goodness. CPI, inflation. Wow, massive volatility, right? Big fat nothing burger. Prices, you know, it is bullish news. Volatility hasn't been too crazy. Inflation is lower than expected. Inflation under control. You know what is a very interesting topic here that, you know, I am worried about for the altcoin season and rest of it is, I mean, we know that GDP is okay in the US. Apparently the economy is strong, right? No major signs of breaking down on the economy. But lots of people are saying that we are going to start getting the interest rate cuts from next month, right? This month, unlikely. Next month, I think we're going to get some interest rate cuts. And a lot of people are very bullish on the interest rate cuts. And there is data. Of course, history does not need a repeat. But when you cut rates, is because you need an emergency. You need money inside of the economy, right? and you need, you know, people to get money for very low interest, right? And that's, you know, cutting rates is when there's problems. You know, that's a tool that they use so you can have extra money flow, right? And you can borrow money with a low interest. When there's high interest, you know, it's better to have the money in the bank. You're going to get paid interest, and it's for lending money, it becomes expensive. And that's why usually you do enter some recessions when you have high interest. In the past, when we've had aggressive interest rate cuts, we've entered a recession. And this is pure data. It doesn't mean, I don't know if history is going to repeat or not, but it's just data that we have. And when we've had interest rate cuts going very aggressive, the crash of 1991, 1990, the dot-com bubble, of course, right? We were at 6.5. You know, we massive cuts all the way down to 1.75 in just a matter of a few months. You know, dot-com bubble, of course, stock market crash. And we had the 2008 also financial crisis. And this is the longest time where we've had low interest rate, right? From 2008 to 2015. You know, apparently this was a very, very bad recession. That's why they maintain the rates very, very low. And people are very excited. As long as the economy is still strong, which apparently it is, the unemployment rate is low in the US, GDP is good, not going down. So all of the, you know, economy data is quite good. But when we cut rates is when we have problems, right? So maybe are we going to see any problems in the next coming months? And then the rate, you know, interest rates need to be cut very aggressively. You know, history says when we cut rates is because there's issues, right? And we enter a little recession, regardless if it's 6 months or 2 years, right? One of the longest ones being the 2008, 2009, right? Took a few years here to recover. Usually recessions are in between 6 months and 18 months on average. Longest one being the crack of 29, right? Which that was, you know, that's why there are some people speculating that we will have a depression at some point in the coming years. And it won't be, you know, the classic 6 months, 12 months recession where interest rates go down very aggressively and it's, you know, cheap to borrow money, and then the economy is flowing again. We get credit and we'll pay the debt in a few years. Right? Anyway, it's just very interesting how, yeah, the pastor says, you know, the previous interest rate cuts has, you know, we've gotten into a recession anyway. But who cares, right? We're here to trade. We're here to make money. We whatever happens, you know, make sure to have some cash eventually, because cash will be king. Always in a recession, it has always been king, especially when we've had, you know, good. The inflation is pretty much under control, almost hitting the 2% target from Jerome. Very good, very nice. Let's smash up the like button, legend. Let's see how many. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, man. We got the CPI data and Bitcoin's not doing anything. Markets just tested yesterday's highs. It is maintaining above the highs of yesterday. I think we'll get some volatility when the market opens, which is going to open very soon. Let's get that like button, guys, if you do enjoy the content. We're over 700 people watching the stream, doing the technical analysis on Bitcoin, talking about the local intraday levels. Let's get a higher time frame plan here, okay? Because we might get a lot of volatility in the next coming hours or not. But what if the price gets above the local highs of yesterday? Does it mean that we will break out to all-time high, or could we double top? Let's analyze that scenario. If the price rejects here from the previous day point of control, what is the next level of support if we do get down in a three-wave structure here? We need to talk about the support levels and the resistance levels on the higher time frame, because that's what we like to do as well. We like the local time frame, but I'm sure a lot of people did not remember the 0.88 rejection, explaining the previous range also with a 0.88 in the previous, right? It's just a plan. It's just a level that you want to take into consideration, 0.88. And many people maybe forgot about that level, right? We're going to talk about higher time frame scenarios right away as we get that like button at least above 300 likes. And before we go into the Bitcoin higher time frame, we'll be saying hello to the beautiful community in the comment section. Let's go. That like button getting to 300 likes in 3, 2, 1. Come on, it just gives me energy here, guys. It just gives me energy, and I'm happy. And I'm going to go through the comment section right away. Shall we go through the higher time frame scenarios on Bitcoin? Let me know. Maybe you're not interested. Andy, what about Kadena? Yeah, Kadena, I'm still holding the bag. We can take a look at Kadena, but I'm still holding the bag from 60-70 cent range. That is my average entry zone. So I'm at a loss on Kadena. But I do see this one also recovering eventually. It's only popped out from this descending wedgie structure. This is the thing, right? When some of the cryptos get below the lows of the bear market, it usually brings the best buying opportunity, you know, especially on good projects. I like Kadena. Kadena supposedly back in the day was the fastest blockchain project, right? What's happening that nothing is being built on Kadena, right? That's the problem with these L1s, right? There's nothing being built. The TVL is very low. There's no volume, no interest in building on Kadena. And, you know, this is why 𝗬𝗍 is having a lot of success, because everybody wants to build on 𝗬𝗍. It's extremely easy to build on the 𝗬𝗍 blockchain. When you go to 𝗬𝗍, 𝗬𝗍's TVL, and you know, when you go through the website, it is extremely easy. Start building. You know, it's very, very easy, and the volume is going up on 𝗬𝗍, and this is why it's having a lot of success. When you take a look at these other ones, such as Kadena, it's no volume. That's the problem, right? Would I say it will succeed? Well, you know, it will be part of the altcoin season, that's for sure. Everything's part of the altcoin season. Everything takes part on a major altcoin season. So it will take part, but I just don't see it being one of them, like, you know, that one of them like 𝗬𝗍, right? That 𝗬𝗍, you know, does have the high potential in going to $5-10, right, easily in the next coming months, which is not much of a return. But yeah, realistically, 𝗬𝗍 can do a 2-3x in this bull cycle, get to 30-40 billion. You know, that's a realistic target. People say that it's going to go to 50 or 100. I'm not sure if it's going to do that in this cycle. I wouldn't bet the farm on it. If it gets to above the previous all-time high, then you know, you need to check how it breaks out. If it starts dancing around here or getting a rejection, would be a time to take some profits off the table. You never know how it's going to play out. Let's go. CRV, another one. Let's get some cryptos rolling, guys. Are you interested in Bitcoin, or are we jumping onto some altcoins? CRV was absolutely epic. This descending wedge breaking down the previous bull run lows. This always brings you a great opportunity to buy in low, especially if you're wedging, right? If you're wedging and you're getting beneath the bear market lows of 2022, you know, it's a zone that you want to consider buying up, so you could be part of this, you know, bad boy. The problem with CRV right now, and it's grinding up and it's hitting that major resistance, right? The support that you had here. It's trying to get above it, but lots of lows here. Just keeping it basic. We ain't going to go too flashy with the TA here. But CRV is a good project. It did have a little bit of a liquidity crunch here back in 2024. Some, you know, sketchy issues with the founder, you know, selling tokens and stuff like that, buying, you know, multi-million houses. I don't know what happened, but I did read something about it. But it's a good project regardless. It's like OM. OM, guys, I think there's a great buying opportunity on OM, even though it seems like a scam. This has been a liquidity crunch, literally. All of this was collateral, you know, leverage. The liquidity was not real. The market cap of 6-8 billion was not real, guys. It was not real. This was a few $1 million of a dump. There was no liquidity. So yeah, this obviously for such a good project, real world asset project, to get this, then people are going to lose faith on the project down here. They'll be like, yeah, screw this project. It's a scam. It was a liquidity crunch. It could happen, you know. I think OM, you know, it's bottoming out here. It's not like Luna, okay? It's not the same scenario as Luna. Luna is something different. Luna was apparently a scam, but this one is still a very, very, very good developing project. It's just had a liquidity issue. So thinking long term, right, on real world asset projects, can you take a look at 𝗖? 𝗖, I think, is also one of them that is good. The problem with 𝗖 is not much is being built on 𝗖, right? That's the thing about these L1s. When you take a look at L1s, 𝗖 it covers a lot of things. But if there's no volume and no one's interested in building on top of it, well, you know, it's gonna lag, right? It will get the pumps. But yeah, taking a look at 𝗖, I really like this chart. Extremely corrective price action. You know, after such a massive hype, I think this one will succeed eventually in the altcoin season. Yeah, not much. There's not much to analyze on the chart. It just looks good. Looks good. Rounding off here. You know, very, very similar price action to this price action right over here, right? We don't need to do very, very, very specific, you know, technical analysis, but you can see how it, you know, the price is really bottoming out from that downtrend, right? It's kind of bottoming out in this region, so it looks good. And all of this price action coming from a major skyrocket moment is eventually, you know, looks corrective. So a recovery looks very, very good for 𝗖 in the next coming months, for that beloved altcoin season that we are waiting for. But if it has to happen, considering the 4-year cycle theory, you know, we still very much in the time zone, right? 2025 has to be bullish. It's been bullish for Bitcoin. This is why holding mainly Bitcoin is the best option always on a cryptocurrency cycle. And you can get absolutely burnt on altcoins if you buy at the wrong moment. But we, you know, 2017, 2021, 4 years, big uptrend throughout the last few years. We're in 2025. It's still squeezing up. This eventually will break down at some point. It will break down the uptrend. And you know, we're really speculating in the next coming months. And it will be everybody's a genius season, right? Any altcoin that you have, this is why it doesn't really matter. Some of them will do a 10x, some of them will do a 5x, some of them will do a 15x. Will you have the good one or will you have the bad one? This is why diversifying on, you know, 10 altcoins, 15 altcoins, you know, you should nail one of them, giving you a 20, 30x, right? So will it be 𝗖? Will it be 𝗬cie? I wouldn't expect much more upside on 𝗬cie, 2-3x realistically. But this is why getting into some low cap coins, mid cap coins that have good fundamentals, such as Constellation DAG, for me it's a no-brainer, right? This is a no-brainer. It's like, this is an awesome project. It's being used by the Ministry of Defense in the US. It doesn't run on blockchain, it runs on DAG technology. yeah, I mean, this is very, very corrective price action after a major pump. So are we expecting that altcoin season? I want to be part of it. And I want to buy at very interesting, exhausting levels. I don't want to buy the hype when it breaks out. I don't want to buy Dogecoin. I don't want to buy Pepe. It's pumped over 100% already in the last week or two. I want to catch the ones that I know that are fundamentally good, and I want to buy low. And you know, there's no secret to it, right? There was many months here back in 2024. If you want to buy now, guys, because then we are looking to get out. Unfortunately, some altcoins came back down to the lows without hitting the March highs, which was a lot of, you know, many targets. And I was getting bombed by people saying, you're selling too early. I mean, I want to protect what I invested here and get out in a profit, and then I'll hold a moon bag. You know, still holding some Constellation DAG, and I've bought a little bit more today. Buy high, say low. Buy high, sell low, right? Panic. I think it's just a great zone to buy. Bitcoin trying to move up here. Yeah, if we haven't rejected already from this zone, stock markets are dancing around at yesterday's highs. No major rejection just yet. Bitcoin pumping. If we break out from this level, our next level here of confluence is the 7/8 Fibonacci with probably the value area high of this range. Yeah, value area high and the 7/8 Fibonacci could be a level, guys. It could be a level. We got the lower highs of yesterday, the 7/8 Fib from the drop, which is kind of the last level if you want to consider a larger correction. If you break out from here, then I would say we're going up to the highs. I do not want to be part of a short position if we get back above here. The value area high, I would say that we're very likely going to hit those highs. So it's either golden pocket or 7/8 for the rejection. If any of these two do not reject, you know, you just don't want to be part of a short. We don't have much levels on considering the higher time frame here on Bitcoin. There's no major levels when we consider the higher time frame on Bitcoin. There is some cheeky lower highs where price could, you know, SFP. You know, you can consider these lower highs for an SFP. Let's leave it that way. Because even though we claim the highs, you have to give a chance for the bears, and there's no better level than lower highs, especially when we know that we've moved up in a 5-wave structure for the moment. The overall question is this a 112? You're forming the 3rd wave still, and it's just going to be very bullish for the next coming weeks still, or you are completing that 5-wave structure, right? Just looking at basic Elliott wave theory, this has moved in a 5-wave structure, hitting a major resistance. The main problem is right now that you can micro count, you know, possible 1-2 here, 112, 3, 4, 5. Do we have a cheeky 4-5 still on the formation, right? Do we have a cheeky 4-5 on the formation here, which will just claim yesterday's highs before getting the larger correction? And your best way, if you want us to catch the high, is looking at liquidity pockets, which eventually are hidden beneath these lower highs. These lower highs that we have from January could be the liquidity pockets. When we do take a look at liquidity, lots of people were entering shorts, you know, even myself, but I'm very conservative. It was, you know, I took profit and I'm defensive. Yeah, there's lots of liquidity above $106,000, right? So there's that cheeky liquidity here above yesterday's highs. So maybe there could be one more fetch. If it breaks through the lower highs here where we have that liquidity, then higher we go. You don't want to fight the breakout. Only if you reject from one of these pivot lower highs is where you would consider the theory of multiple 1-2, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, another 4-5 on the formation. The crucial pivots, like the 0.88 is a crucial pivot. You know, it's a sniper trade, but you only consider, I mean, this is for the experienced traders, only the lower highs. Only if you reject from one of these lower highs, you can consider this scenario. And that is really going with the theory of, you know, just basic theory on Elliott wave, right? The problem is with Elliott wave theory is that you can have multiple 1-2s, right, in your wave 1 and part of your wave 3, and then 4-5s and 4-5, right, forming your last leg up. But, you know, just going with the basic theory here, we have moved up in a 5-wave structure, which is like, you know, that there is reasons to believe that we could top out here at the valley area high. We're just gonna have to go level by level, right? And just, you know, the trading levels are very clear. 0.88 is 1, and the lower highs here are also 1, and it might just get that last liquidity grab, or it might break through, right? If it breaks through, then you don't want to be part of the short. And the short overall target, most commonly, it does go down to the fourth wave zone. You do have a lot of resistance, a lot of support, which is the point of control of this entire range at 97. That would be your first overall target based on a swing trade. If you get in at the highs, 0.88, or you get at the lower highs here. You know, your overall target zone would be this area in between $92,000 and $97,000. You know, that's the target zone for this swing trade. I mean, it's a $10,000 move that could take 1 or 2 weeks to get down there. That's if we reject at these specific levels. So it's more of a swing shorting zone. Anyway, let's go. Flux and 𝗬 looks good for accumulation, says Aditya. Let's go. These are OGs. Hello, everyone. Suzanne, much love to you. Suzanne, did you smash up the like button? I have a problem with the like button. People don't like me. They like to get the information, but they don't like to smash the like button, eh? You smash up the like button, legends, because it gives me energy. I'm a bit more happy today, right? I'm very emotional with the likes, you know. I need that like button, guys. Anyway, are you a Litecoin holder, Andy? I actually bought a Litecoin when I started in crypto in 2018. I think Litecoin is going to be huge. I think Litecoin is an OG. It's, you know, it's a fork from the Bitcoin blockchain. It's just been underperforming, of course. It didn't even, just double topped on the previous cycle, right? It managed to reach the 2017 high. It's here to stay, right? Litecoin is here to stay. Just like Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, I think they'll do well overall, but Bitcoin Cash also. I think Bitcoin Cash could be forming something similar to XRP. Bitcoin Cash is faster, it is secure, it is cheaper than Bitcoin. It's not the real Bitcoin, we all know that. But I think it's a multi-year consolidation where it's, you know, it's forming a bit of a triangle situation here from the launch, right? Massive pump from zero eventually. And then you have the A, B, C, D, E, right? Could it form a higher low here? But then I would say that's very similar to XRP, just a multi-year consolidation. I think it will be part of the altcoin season, Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. They're just going to underperform long term against Bitcoin. It's math, right? It's not rocket science. you're better off holding Bitcoin for the long term than one of these cryptos. You can make gains. Anyway, let's go through comment section. People are leaving, getting tired. Near Protocol, also awesome project. Near Protocol, we're flip-flopping into altcoins right now. You're just getting ready for that potential altcoin season. Oh yeah, Near Protocol, absolute beast. Absolute beast, no doubt that Near Protocol is a good project. You got a massive rally here throughout 2023 and 2024, and all of this movement to the downside looks extremely corrective, part of a large correction from this pump. So they're all the same, basically. They're all the same, all almost the same, broken out from this downtrend structure, bottoming out ever so slightly. Beware of pullbacks because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin gets that pullback. These altcoins will pull back the pump that we've had if Bitcoin does decide to reject from here. So just be aware that we might get a better opportunity in the next coming weeks because of Bitcoin. Even though I do see Bitcoin hitting all-time high, I do see it getting a corrective move. And that corrective move eventually will affect the altcoins, and it will be kind of that last moment of it was a trap, this, that, the other, and then hopefully in the next coming months, you know, we do get that Bitcoin dominance dropping down and finally the altcoin season happening throughout the summer or maybe September, October, right? Just, yeah, it needs to happen in the next coming months, guys. If it doesn't, then we'll go and live under a bridge together, right? We'll make a camp and we'll just hug each other, love each other, and say, we tried. We tried. We tried. Anyway, Rune, epic. Rune is awesome. I do have a bag of Rune. Rune is, yeah, Rune had an issue with, yeah, we know the story with Rune, right? They also had a lending platform built that had, you know, something happened in late 2024, part of 2025. Major collapse here because Rune is awesome. It's one of the king interoperability projects, but they created some kind of lending feature that had many problems. And lots of people had problems withdrawing, and it created this collapse. But we said this, you know, in the last few months. I think Rune is going to recover very nicely. It's bottoming out already after the fear. It's still a working project. It's not a scam. They just had an issue with a feature that they had on lending. This is an awesome project. And it's still working. So it's not a scam. It's a confirmed not scam. They just had a problem with a lending feature that they developed throughout last year or the last couple of years, I don't know, but awesome opportunity to buy in low. I think this one will recover out of the ashes. I think this one, Rune's gonna blow your socks off on the recovery. Legends, if you are interested in trading or buying, you have BTCC. I'm going to be focusing more on swing trades here on this platform. And you also have Weeks. Weeks has, you know, great low fees. You do get a fee discount. You got, you know, BTCC is one of the oldest exchanges out there, 14 years. You get over $10,000 deposit bonus. BTCC is the way to go as well, just because it's you know, a long-term platform, right? You get plus $10,000 deposit bonus. Weeks also is a great option. I'm going to be doing more day trades on Weeks and swing trades on BTCC for the moment. Check out the bonuses. You get 25% fee reduction, and you just need an email and a password to sign on Weeks or BTCC. No VPN. Check them out, guys. Much love to everybody. Not much volatility. Thank you very much for joining and subscribing and smashing up the like button. Stay safe. Let's see if we do get that altcoin season. Any pullbacks that can happen on Bitcoin, it's just going to be part of the game. It will bring another opportunity. I'm still having some cash. Still want to buy some altcoins. Very much aware of the pullback that could happen. before we get the altcoin season, okay? So it's just something that we need to be prepared for. Much love to everybody. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.